Good evening everyone, how are we all doing? Thanks for tuning back in, thanks for coming to visit me once again on the channel. I hope you're all well, hope you're all keeping well, and I hope you've all had or having a decent summer. We're back on Anglesey tonight, back on home ground, and it's 8 PM. Gorgeous, gorgeous night, stunning night, 8 PM. The sun, you may be able to see reflecting just on my face here, is on the way to bed. The sun's on the way down. The nights are starting to draw in now slowly, so we've got about a couple of hours of light left. I'm armed with nothing more than my lure rod. I'm armed with nothing more than my lure rod, and we're going to go and see what we can find. Now the plan is, it's a bit of a last minute decision, and I was between, do I get the big bait rods out, do I go and target some huss, do I go and target some bass, some smooth hounds? But realistically guys, summer will be over before we know it, and then it'll be 6 months of fishing with big baits. So I want to make the most of fishing light, fishing with lures, and just generally trying to have some great sport on light gear. So the plan is, I'm on my way to a mark. I'm driving down a farm road here now, bit of a private land where I'm allowed to park down here. I'm going to park up at the farm. I'm going to have a gander onto a little bit of a rocky area, bit of a cove. Low water's not till midnight, but it's 8 o'clock now, so you should be able to get down and around the bits that I want to get down. They're only small tides, 23 foot in old money, very, very small tides. So yeah, I should get down to the kelp beds where I want to get. We're going to put some western sandy Andy eels over the top. I think there'll be too much of a surf for the surface lure, but we'll put some sandy Andys over the top of the kelp. We may drag some metals over the top of the kelp. We'll just see how we get on. I've not got no big heavy jigging metal with me. I've just got nice basic sort of bassy type of gear. Then I'll see how I get on. I may go and see if I can get a nighttime bass as it gets later, as it gets darker. See if we get a nighttime bass. As I say guys, I am driving down a private farm road, so I thought I'd do the intro, because what I don't want to do is waste too much of the sunlight hours or the daytime hours. I have a little bit of a trek across a couple of fields into this cove where I do get quite success on the bass at times. Wrasse, pollock, mackerel, bit of anything can turn up really. So yeah, just making the most now. August, you know, September's around the corner. September on the lures can be amazing, but August, September, mid-September, and it's all over. So I just want to make the most of the opportunities. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy. Hopefully I can bring you some explosive action. Maybe a nighttime bass later on. We'll just see how it goes, see how we get on, and hopefully we can have a bit of fun guys. Hopefully we can have a bit of fun. See what happens, eh? Right, I'm going to put a lure out guys. I've literally just had a pollock chase it and hit it right under the rod tip here. It come clean out the water, got me all excited. I was shouting, did you see it, did you see it? And I'd forgot to push record on the camera. So we're down here guys, the wind is hacking in. It's rougher than I thought it would be, but that sometimes can be a benefit, especially for a bass. Let's see if I can get some action shots. You're on my chest piece. I'm going to try my best. I'm not very good with a chest piece. I do try. I've done it a few times in the past and it's come out absolute awful. Let's see if I can make it work. Just bring in that eel now, steady over the kelp bed just by there. See if we get some action. Got to be in it to win it, so they say. Yeah, that's, oh! Did you see that hit the lure then? I just had a cracking take around there then. Obviously I'm going to edit this video because there'll be loads of me going, did you see that? Did you see that? Look at that, it's absolutely bent my eel round. That was a good knock, that. There's hope, guys, there's hope. I need to work out how to make the chest piece sit up by here and not look just at the rod tip. But for now, I'm running out of light. We're trying to get some action. We're having a go together. See if we can make it work. Hopefully the wind noise won't be too bad within the camera. Yeah, bang! Fish on! Fish on! Look at that! Did you see the action of it? I hope you did. We're into a fish. The rod's keeled over. We're into a fish right away. And it feels alright. What is it? That's the question. Staying deep. Staying down. Look at that for a pollock. A cracking black, jet black pollock of a couple of pound. Look at that for a cracker. Anyway, let's have a look at it properly together. What a cracking fish. Good few pound. Absolutely annihilated the lure. See, we're going to keep this one, so we'll get it out of its misery as fast as we can. We're going to keep a couple for the table tonight. That is the plan. Look at that. Look at that for a fish. Proper taking that eel down. Yeah, what a cracking fish. Lovely, lovely fish. Good few pound. It's hard to tell sometimes when you're holding them like this, but it's a good fish. Couple of pound pollock. Look at that. Absolute beautiful, beautiful fish. We'll put it out of its misery and see if we get some more on camera. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely loving the summer feeling of the buzz, the action with the light gear. I've absolutely loved it this summer. Just besides everything that I usually do. Oh, I just had a follow right there. I'm not sure if it would have come up in camera. There's fish here. There's lots of fish here. Right on the sun going down. Trying to get the best footage I possibly can for you guys. Right then, let's have a go. Come on fish, where are you? There's a bit of weed floating in the water. I can just see it sticking to my braid here and there. I tell you, I hope the wind noise isn't bad. Yeah, oh, that was a good knock again. That was a good knock again. There's loads of fish here, but they're just hitting that eel. I'm reeling in a bit too fast. I think I'm just getting all excited with the action of the camera. Look at that. If this chest piece works out alright guys and the footage is alright, I'll try and start doing a bit more stuff like this to bring you right into the action with me. Oh, I had to take that again then. Getting hit just by there. This is what's been doing the damage for me in the recent months. It's the western eel. I just can't go wrong with it. As you can see, I've super glued this one back together where it's been getting absolutely annihilated over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, that's a good fish. Oh, that was a screaming take. I literally stopped in my stands there with that one. That was a screamer of a take. Absolute screamer. Oh, look at that. It's a bass. It's a bass. It's a cracker of a bass as well. Look at that down there, guys. Might lose it because of swell, but we'll have a go. Look at that. Come on. Wait, bring it up with a swell. Cracking bass. Yeah, that's another one. Look at that for a fish action. Cracking bass. Look at that. Smashing a fish. What a take that was. What a take that was. Look at that. Absolute beautiful, beautiful bass. About £2, 2.5, maybe 3, I don't know. It's well in size. Well in size. What a cracking bass. Look at that for action. Hey, how about that? Beautiful. Right, I've just crossed onto a little bit of an island that I fish off here. Now guys, you've got to be aware, I fish around here since I was a kid. I've grown up fishing around here. Now that doesn't make me no expert, but I do know what I can get away with the swells. I do know when to come on here. I do know, wow, that's a fish straight away, look at that. Straight into some great action yet again on the lures, guys. I was having a proper chin wag there then, and away she goes. It's not a big bass, but it's a bass. I'm sure it's a bass. It's come straight to the surface. A pollock could usually go deep. Yeah, it's a small schooly bass. Only a small one. That'll be one to go back. Look at that, annihilating my lures again. Back it goes. What great action this is. So one of the techniques I have to say, guys, the way I fish the eel is I fish it really slow, and every now and again I just stop, bang, we're in again, we're in again. The action is absolutely amazing here tonight. Look at it go. It's not a big fish, it's a small pollock this time. Lovely little pollock. Look at that, cracking little pollock, guys. We'll get it unhooked, we'll get it put back, and we'll keep going for some more. Right, what I was trying to say to you a minute ago, I've just cast that back out, but what I was trying to say is, I fish my western eels, I fish them really slow, because the tail moves all the time in the water. There's no need to reel them in at 100 miles an hour. Reel them in really slow, get some good action, every now and again just stop. And when it sinks, the tail goes down with it as it's sinking. Don't have to rush them in. And yeah, the rod will bounce away. If them fish are there, guys, you'll catch them. Oh, that was a take just on the side there then. There, bang, fish on, cracking action. As you could hopefully see, nice and slow, reeling it in, nothing done fast. Another bass, only a small schoolie yet again, but another cracking little bass on the lures. Don't want to give me my lure back, this one. Jesus. Look at the mess on my lure, look at that, it's absolutely smashing my lures. Give it back. The hook's not even in it now, it's just in its mouth. Look at that, there we go. Another beautiful little schoolie. Doesn't even want to take a picture of this one. Let's get him back. There you go, my friend. Let's see if we get your big brother, your big sister, maybe your auntie, maybe your uncle. As I say, guys, fish them lures nice and slow. Make the action worthwhile, and you'll just see a nice soft rod tip like this, and you'll just see it boom straight round when they hit it. There's a small tap there then. When I get a small tap, I literally just stop the lure. There you go, bang. Look at that. Oh, this is a better fish. This is a much better fish. Look at it go. Yeah, another nice bass. Smashing the bass now. I'm not sure how many I've had. I'll have to look back at the footage. But look at that, that's a better fish, isn't it? Loads of bass in here tonight. It's not always like this, but look at that. Absolutely amazing bass fishing. Send them back, let them go. Little tap right into the rod. Let's see if we get it to follow it right to the top. Sometimes, there you go, oh, sometimes they'll smash it right on the surface, right down here. But that time not, unfortunately. See if we can make that rod tip go round again now. Let's get the rod in the horizon. Also guys, I'm fishing this now along the floor, and what I'm doing is just holding the rod there, reeling it really slow, letting it bounce along the bottom, feeling it hit the floor, just giving it a couple of winds up. And sometimes, not every time, but sometimes that's what it takes. Picked up a bit of weed that time. Yeah, right in the rod tip, look at that, bang! Right in the rod tip, right down there. I'm not sure what you'll have seen, but that schoolie literally just smashed it right into the rod tip. We're getting some fish, we're getting some action. So I'm taking my time and hooking it nice and steady. Pop that hook out just like that. We're going to have a look at this one. Only little schoolies, really small, beautiful little schoolies, but great fun. Some big rollers coming in, look at that. Some big rollers coming in here tonight. But the fish are loving it, I'm loving it, we're fishing, we're loving it, we're living the dream. Oh, bang, 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 bang. Oh, it's off. Hey, it's back. Hey, it's back. Yeah, it's back. Hey. Good fun. I lost it, and then it come back. Woo! It's a motor. It's a motor bass. I lost it then for a minute, and then it come back. It could have been a shoal of fish chasing it, to be fair, and they were knocking it between them. Look at that, absolute brilliant. Back it goes. Look at that lure. Look at that lure. Absolutely annihilated. We'll give it a couple more chucks, see. Will one smash it on the surface again? I don't know. Can't see anything down underneath it. No. That lure might be a bit battered now, but we'll have a couple more chucks with it. Oh, that was a hell of a hit, that. That was a steamer of a hit then. But just banging it, just literally hitting the back of it. Nice and slow when that happens. Even stop the lure. not aborted it, but sometimes guys you really just gotta, sometimes guys you'll just feel them nipping at the back of the lure. Slow it down. Sometimes if slowing it down doesn't work, stop it, and sometimes it'll just hit it on the stop. No, I think it might be too badly damaged. Bringing it over the top of a very snaggy area now, so I'm bringing it in a bit faster. Bang! Oh, it's very snaggy here. Oh, and again, what a hit! Very, very snaggy here. Plenty of hits there on the way in. I think I was bringing it in too fast, but it is really, really, really snaggy. Let's see if anything hits it just under the rod tip here now. Don't be too quick to bring your lure out of the water, lift it slowly. No, let's chuck it straight across them snags again. Straight back out across them snags. Very snaggy area. Have to reel it quite fast across here, because it's really shallow, really snaggy. Gone quiet now, I'm concentrating. Got to bring it quite fast because it is snaggy. See, I'm hitting the bottom there, and again hitting the bottom. There was a few hits over that snaggy area the first cast. We'll have one more chuck across it. Again guys, don't be too fast to bring that lure up at the water, they'll hit it right under your feet. No, nothing. Let's get it straight back across that snaggy area. Straight back across there, catching up with the wind slack. Again, I'm quiet, I'm concentrating. Are you watching that rod tip to bounce round? Can you see it? I'm not sure. Funny, the first time I went over the top of that snag area, bang, 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 I could feel them hitting it. But they must have just been in the shoal, and the shoal's moved out of there again. Nope, there it is, bang, there we go. As I said, they were there, they were definitely there. That's a pollock, so that's why it would have been small pollock teaming up. They don't quite hit it as aggressive as a bass. Every time a pollock will slowly take it. This lure is finished. Let's get that pollock back. Look at that lure, that is absolutely battered. Do you know what? I'm going to see if I can catch a fish on it like that. Look how battered it is. I got that much confident in these western eels, I'm sure it'll catch me another fish. That eel is absolutely battered, but it's got a bit of movement in it. The light's fading. Let's chuck it back out there and let's try again. One more chuck with this broken eel. It is getting me hits, but it's not fishing properly now. Just wasting time here. But I tell you what, that paddle tail's still going. Nothing a bit of super glue won't fix again. I've already fixed this lure about 3 times over the last couple of weeks, guys. I'm all quiet, I'm all concentrating. Another small hit there on the eel, but I am pretty sure the eel is finished. This will be the last cast on this eel. We're losing light, I don't want to lose the opportunity. That was the broken eel. That was the broken eel. I'm that confident in these eels, you know what I mean? I just don't think the tail's sitting in the right place now with the hook. Well, it's not, I know it's not, because it's absolutely smashed. But I'm that confident in these eels catching me fish. You can buy these eels over at ABC, Anglesey Bait Centre. Also, they do the Diwa range of lure rods. These aren't the most expensive. They're a lovely budget sort of mid-range. I absolutely love this rod. I have had some absolute screaming action on this rod. Again, the Shimano reels you can get over at ABC. Yeah, that lure's finished. Look at that. That lure is finished. Let's get a new lure. All about getting the timing right in between the waves here. Look at this. Got a cross back to get to my lure box. Whoa. We're up. We're alright. Back to the lure box. I know there's plenty of fish down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this battered lure here now. See if it is the lure or if the fish are just feeding. I'm going to put a lazy lure on. It's lost one of his eyes, but it'll be fine. Now, I've not yet caught anything on the lazy lure. This orange one with the dying light, we'll see. They move absolutely amazing within the water. Let's see. I've got plenty of these western eels. Let's see. Let's see. Right then, we've switched over to a lazy lure. Orange lazy lure. Let's see if it's as effective as the western eel. Now, you can't compare them, to be fair. They just do two completely different things, moving two completely different ways. But I was gifted this by a gentleman that I took out guiding. Gifted me a pair of a set or two lazy lures, and I would like to catch one on it for him, if nothing else. As yet. I haven't had a hit yet on the lazy lure. It could be the colour, it could be the way it's moving in the water, but it looks absolutely fantastic. You won't be able to see it on the camera, I don't think, but it looks absolutely amazing within the water, but not a hit on it as yet. I've had about 12 casts on it, so it shows, guys. What I'll do in a minute is I am losing light now, but I'll flick back. I'll have one more cast after this. I'll flick back to the western and see if it makes any difference. Maybe the shoal's moved on, I don't know. Right, this will be the last cast with this lazy lure now. Unless I get a fish on it, this will be a last cast on it. Oh, I'm not sure if I had a hit. I'm not sure. We may have another cast then. Not sure if I just hit the bottom there, to be honest. No, it's a fish, it's a fish. I just had a hit. Just had a hit. Come on. I'd love to catch one on a different lure. Let's have another. Could be the colour, because I've changed the colour to orange. Could be the complete different. That's what maybe just putting them off. or the shoal might have just moved on. But I do believe if they're fixated on a certain pattern or colour, then don't change, guys, don't change. If they're fixated on a certain pattern, the way the lure's moving, or a colour, changing can definitely be a mistake. Stick to what's worked. But at the same time, if you catch a fish on a lure and then you've had 100 casts, change then. Obviously, do you know what I mean? It's about knowing when the best time to change is. I tend to, if I'm getting fish on a lure, I tend not to change. Right then, got to change back to the Western. I have had a hit on the lazy lure, but let's see if it makes a difference changing back to the Western. I've got one in my pocket here somewhere, or I put one in my pocket, so I thought, yeah, it's changing straight over to the Western eel. There we go. It's going to be the first cast with it. Let's see if it makes a difference. Like I say, it could be so much difference in it. The colour change, the way the lure moves. This is a bit heavier of a lure, so maybe it's getting down a little bit deeper within the swell. There's so much in it, but it's interesting to see now if I catch a fish within, let's say within 10 casts. Hit the bottom, calm down Tommy, calm down. Within 10 casts. I might sound a bit like I'm shouting, but it's just because I'm trying to over voice the wind for you. Don't even know if the wind audio is going to be bad, but be a shame if it's a crappy video due to just wind noise. Right, that's one cast with the Western. Snag. Bang, fish. No, snag. Bang, fish. Right, so there you are, guys. It definitely making the difference. Definitely making the difference. Oh, that feels like a decent fish. Staying deep. Oh my God, it's a cracking fish. It's a cracking fish. Giving it a bit of line. It's an absolute belter of a fish. It's a pollock. An absolute belter of a fish. Using the swell as much as I can. I don't want to lift it on the rod and break the rod. Let's grab the line. Oh, what a show this is becoming. And there we are, guys. Wait, I'm not sure if the camera's gone off. Has it gone off? No. There we are, guys, another belting pollock, another absolute clunker of a pollock. The change of the lure made the difference. Change of the lure definitely made the difference there. Look at that for a cracking fish. Another beautiful pollock, and another one for the taking, another one for the table. Changing the lures definitely pays off. Now it's not fair, guys. Yeah, look at that fish straight away. I've literally just chucked that Western straight back out and we're in. But it's not fair, guys, to compare two lures that move in completely different ways. But what it does show is that when a fish is fixated on the way something moves, the way it coloured or something, then it doesn't matter. You could be chucking the wrong lures for 3 hours, 4 hours, find what they're feeding on, find what they want, and give it to them. And give it to them. Let's put that one back. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm literally going to change back now, see if it makes a difference. Because I had 3 casts with the Western, and bang, I had about 15 casts with this orange one, and had 1 hit. I'm all excited, I'm all shaking, I can't even get the bloody lure on the clip. And the wave's just gone over my leg. Right, let's see. I'll chuck it to exactly the same place where I've been getting the fish. Let's see now. This moves completely different, but what it's showing you guys is the colour, the pattern, the movement of the lure. It definitely makes a difference, and that's where it's worth. Bring your wife into the room for this part, guys. That's where it's worth having 50 lures, 60 lures, 100 lures in your lure box, because guys and girls, you definitely need to be able to change the pattern and find what them fish are wanting. They're definitely wanting the westerns tonight. They're definitely wanting the westerns tonight. Just can't seem to get anything to hit the orange. Nothing wrong with the lure will catch fish. It's just not catching fish tonight. The pattern of this moving in the water is amazing, but I just can't not go wrong with their meals. This year I have absolutely tore the fishing apart on their meals. Next year it could be completely different. Next month, next week, tomorrow, the next tide. That's where you've got to have the variety of lures to be able to change, swap, change, find what them fish are wanting. I'm going to change back to the western. I'm going to change back to the western because I'm obviously getting hits on it. Put that there, put that there. Right, we're back on the western. We're back on the western. It's not fair to say that isn't a good lure because it moves so beautifully within the water. It's just not the pattern that's working tonight. Right then, we're back at the car. It's not over. We're going to go and look for a nighttime bass now. Filming is going to be difficult to do this, guys. I've got a bead just inside of my mouth, but I'll explain that just now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a tip here. This is one of my top tips for night fishing for bass. One, I like to have red light. Without a shadow of doubt, some people say it's nonsense, you don't need it. Now I've got it on a flasher, but personally I think you do. Some places you don't. If it's a lit up area, I don't think you do. But when you're fishing somewhere pitch black, last thing you want to do is put a white light on the water. I believe it kills the fishing. So I like a red light. I believe it helps. But this is my top tip for night fishing, for bass or any lure fishing in the dark. You're going to use a swivel to connect. Let me get some slack out here. To connect my fluorocarbon to my braid. Now this is a top tip that I'm going to give here, and I'll explain why I do it. There may be others that do it. So this is my braid section. There's my little tiny, which is going to be hard to see in the camera, tiny micro swivel. Can you see that in the camera? Let's see if we can make you see it. I'll help you see it. No, you're not going to see it. So I got a tiny little micro swivel attached to the end of my fluorocarbon. Here I've got a tiny little bead. Can you work that out? A tiny little rubber bead, not a hard plastic bead. I'm going to put that up my braid. So that tiny little rubber bead now is up on the braid section. Not sure how well you're going to see. There you are. Can you see that? Look at it against the side of my cheek there. So there's a tiny little rubber swivel on there. Then what I'm going to do then, tiny little rubber bead, sorry, I'll show you properly now. Then I tie to my swivel with my fluorocarbon back to my line. Bit long-winded this, guys. I will try and make it sound better, look better when I edit the video. Right then, I got my fluro carbon going down to my little link, quick change link to my lure of choice. A little micro swivel, then I've attached my braid, and on it I've got a very soft rubber, see how squidgy it is, rubber bead. Now the reason for that is this, with it being rubber I can pull it down and it'll sit over the eye of the swivel, just like that. So nice and neat, that's stuck on the swivel. Now you're wondering what have I done that for. So because it's going to be pitch black now, when I'm reeling in, that rubber swivel will protect the eye of my rod when I can't see. Obviously I can't see, and then it'll stop. When that rubber swivel touches the eye of my rod, I know then that my lure is back to me, and I just let a little bit of line out before casting. Nice little simple tip there. Little tip there, soft rubber bead to pull down over the swivel. I buy these at ABC. You buy them in a pack of many different sizes, and all it is a tiny little swivel. Yes, it does gather a little bit of weed at times, but it stops that swivel going through your top eye. It stops your top eye breaking, stops you having to go to the rod doctor all the time, and it protects your rod, looks after your rod, and it lets you know when your lure of choice has come home and is back to you. Let out a little bit of line and cast again out in the darkness. So there we are, there's one of my top tips for night fishing when you're lure fishing for bass. Red light, rubber bead to go on top of your swivel, protect the eye of your rod, catch some fish, and hopefully make some memories. Now guys, it's going to be really hard for me to film now in the dark. So what I'm going to do is, if I get some action that I can get on camera, or I get a fish, I'll bring it to screen. I hope you've enjoyed so far. As much as I've enjoyed putting this one together, the fishing has been absolute mental. Hopefully I got some good shots there. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Now let's go and see if we can find something in the darkness hours. Fish them lures nice and slow. And you'll just see it boom straight round when they hit it. There's a small tap there then. When I get a small tap I literally just stop the lure. There you go, bang. Look at that. Oh, this is a better fish. This is a much better fish. Right. It's not always like this, but look at that. Absolutely amazing bass fishing. Right under the rod tip here. It come clean out the water, got me all excited. I was shouting, did you see it, did you see it? And I'd forgot to push record on the camera. Oh, that was a... Back to the car guys. The action during this video should be absolutely amazing. Obviously I haven't seen all the footage yet. I hope you enjoy. Please, please, if you like, subscribe, follow, share. I really appreciate all your support.